Welcome to our bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for supporting our channel. I want us to head direct to the Ukambani belt because something is happening there that I think it will take a personal intervention of Kalonzo Musyoka before as we head towards the August 9th general election. And it seems there is internal rebellion against either Wiper Party or Wiper Party aspirants in the region. But Kalonzo must come to realization that he's facing more enemies than before. I just bumped on a clip of Alfred Mutua saying all sorts of lies against Kalonzo Musyoka in Machakos, or rather talking about Azimio in Machakos, with a principal focus of making sure that he gets at least 30% of Ukambani vote to Kenya Kwanza. So I want us to listen to that a bit. It is just a portion of his speech while he was speaking in Machakos. And of course, I've also done translation, so let's have a listen.
Musimamo kana musimamo tukatia mundu mote musimamo tonda kumwatia nibi kabaka kati akakola ingi izutia hivyo nendo muya kana ibinde ya mabadiliko nibikie ningu mwicha kura ya Ruto na Kenya Kwanza nino mwakunia Ruto ti Ruto mukunia ni mutu wa mukunia kula ni mutu wa na kwa inize kusima tiwe natiwe ni na Ruto we enenga deputy chief minister nuru chief minister already niwe ni mungi ni mudabati no osie na mwenye nenda kwa serikali nenenga wizara ya malelo na kewo ni muikie kiuna ngatema malelo kuku ikaleta Kiambu nuko ilio kamba wito na mutwa ni bindu kamba wito bi na mwezi ni chap chap kudokumende na mbeze isu nyingi tiwe bakila sama idio kwa
ya listen to that clip. That is Alfred Mutua lying publicly that Deputy President has promised him the position of Deputy Prime Minister and also two cabinet slots, that is Transport and Infrastructure and that of Water and Irrigation. And then he was telling them that when they vote Kenya Kwanza, Machakos will be like Kiambu. I'm like, even that is poor messaging. In that audience, how many people have gone to Kiambu and really knows how Kiambu is? And is really Kiambu a perfect example? You'd rather tell them that it will be like a town. But again, that is politics. Now, there is just a bit of what is happening there. But, however, in the same Ukambani region, within a period of 2 weeks, within a period of a week, Charity Ngilu was heckled in Kitui. 3 days later, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka's rally was also interrupted and he was heckled in Kitui South trying to campaign for someone. Now, I know the people who maybe did not see the Charity Ngilu's heckling, and Charity Ngilu was heckled in the same rally that she stepped down, she withdrew from the Kitui gubernatorial race in favor of Malombe after, I think, a bit of negotiations with Raila Odinga, and Raila Odinga was telling the public, the voters there, that he's going to the national government with Charity Ngilu. Now, look at this heckling incident of Charity Ngilu.
Siku wanafanya mambo ambayo haiwezekani. Niliingia Azimio mapema sana. Na nyinyi nyote karibu. Asante kwa kuwa sisi zote sasa tuko Azimio. Asante na Mungu awabariki. Na nimetumwa sasa niende kwa Vonza nikaeneshe Azimio. Asante sana.
Now, honestly, no one is going to leave his home to attend a rally to heckle a police station if it is not mobilized. It doesn't just happen that way. It's never coincidental. And so I understood that perhaps That was a script that was well written before they even went there. Now, yesterday, Kalonzo Musyoka went to Kitui South to campaign. Yes, it was an Azimio la Umoja campaign, but again, he was campaigning for Wiper candidates. Now, when they arrived in Kitui Central, not Kitui Central, Kitui South, there are three candidates that are facing off. There is Rachel Kakinyamai, who is the incumbent MP, and remember she won with Jubilee. That was from 2013, and then she defended the seat in 2017. Then there is a Wiper candidate known as Daniel Mutua Ndambuki, and there is an ODM candidate known as Onesmus Mumo King. So apparently something happened that Kalonzo Musyoka, despite of him being the party leader of Wiper, of course it's his democratic right, he decided to support the Jubilee candidate there. And the problem was not that the candidate is a Jubilee candidate, but the problem was that Rachel Kakinyamai was facing a rebellion from the voters because apparently she did not defend them to receive compensation from the national government, especially the residents who are evicted from the roadside, the ones that are during the construction of Kibwezi Mombasa Highway, Kibwezi Kitui Highway. Now, these voters came out and shouted down Kalonzo Musyoka. And by the way, it became so difficult, and they were now trying to support the ODM candidate, who apparently has merged up with the Wiper candidate to make sure that they send Kakinyamai home. It was a very ugly situation in Kitui South.
Kalonzo Musyoka and all protocols of that. Andumai tumake tuichezeo na andume kuda nina mugende na yanisia Yesu mwaso.
Now, guys, if you watch that video, the situation was so bad until Kalonzo Musyoka was saying that the ODM candidate should be blocked by IBC for disrespecting him. I know he's a senior lawyer and there is no ground for that. The fact that he was heckled in the presence of the ODM candidate, that one doesn't add up. But I think if you give it a holistic approach, there is some sort of, it's not a big percentage, but there is sort of some friction within Kalonzo Musyoka's circle. Or if you look at it, there is an internal rebellion. The internal rebellion is here, and I think you cannot underestimate all those lies that Mutua is saying, and that's why I shared that video. You cannot underestimate all those lies that Mutua is saying, and you cannot underestimate the fact that before Kalonzo Musyoka joined Azimio la Umoja, his Ukambani region was having the largest number of undecided voters. And these undecided voters, honestly, were people who were supporting him, but were seeing him as someone who was not very decided. Ladies and gentlemen, I think there are some things that Kalonzo must get very right in the light of whatever is happening within the Ukambani. Because what I understand is that this election is not only on him, his future is not only on Raila Odinga winning the presidency, but future, he must also be very strategic on making sure that he holds the Ukambani region together. One thing you have to agree, Charity Ngilu has withdrawn from Kitui race and she's going to the national government. She's going to play the same league with Kalonzo Musyoka if Raila Odinga wins government. You may not be shocked that in 2027, Charity Ngilu might also be a presidential candidate, contender, and she will be in a very strategic position to dilute Kalonzo Musyoka's euphoria. Now, that is my perception, but I want us to look at it deeply on how what exactly is playing out in Ukambani. What I see here is Kalonzo Musyoka is facing some internal rebellion even within the Wiper party. And this internal rebellion will be, I think, underestimation or isolation of some leaders. Let me mention this. Kiema Kilonzo was Kenyan ambassador in Uganda. So Kalonzo Musyoka was making frequent tours to Uganda and Sudan. And I think he promised Kiema Kilonzo that he will get direct ticket to vie for Kitui governor seat through Wiper. But Wiper party gave a direct ticket to Malombe. And Kiema Kilonzo was in court challenging that decision by Wiper party to give Malombe a direct ticket. Now, he is staying somewhere. David Musila vied through Jubilee and was a former chairman of Wiper party. Now, these are not around Kalonzo Musyoka. Charity Ngilu relationship with Kalonzo is very wanting. And remember, when they were at a rally, I think it was a rally in Kitui, Charity Ngilu was saying that everyone who came to Azimio found her there. So the kind of friction that is playing between Kalonzo, this Kiema Kilonzo, David Musila, and the Charity Ngilu should worry him. Because these leaders can go behind the scene to engineer an internal, a home rebellion against Kalonzo Musyoka. I might be overestimating, but it does not take magical science for these candidates to have an influence on the MP seats. Honestly, that is something that is playing out. But the contradictory campaigns is something he must take care of. Two things. If there was a speech he gave in, I think it is in Kitui, when he was trying to talk to people about why he was alikuwa anajivutavuta kuingia Azimio, now he has a good deal. I find that that messaging a bit, it's not the right time for that. If you've already signed a deal, it's gone, you now know what it takes. I think it should be a bygone and you should put it behind you. The contradictory campaign is this. He is putting on a Wiper party shirt, a Wiper party cape, and still will have the audacity to go to ground in an event where a Wiper party aspirant is there. The party certificate was given from headquarters, but to go and campaign for the other candidate. It was not bad to campaign for Jubilee candidate, but at least in the presence of his Wiper party candidate, honestly, even to the voters, they wait and see like, okay, what exactly is going on here? So that kind of contradictory campaign, and I agree. One thing I respect Kalonzo for is he's not really a staunch champion of the six piece, and that is in order so that you might not avert voter fallout. But a situation where he's just going there, the voters might feel, and already you need to do your groundwork. The voters might feel that the MP was blamed for not championing for compensation of people who were displaced from the area where the road was being constructed. He had an idea about what was going on. You just refrain from that. And even if you endorse behind the scene. But the best endorsement is to talk to the Wiper candidate, withdraw and support your candidate, so that perhaps he can face off with the ODM, because I'm told the Onesimus Mumu King is a very strong candidate. And by the way, he was in Wiper, but was rigged out and jumped to ODM at some point. overstrained Ukambani, Kalonzo overstrained Ukambani voters. I want to agree that negotiation was to get the best outcome, but the hard stance made him given some loopholes to very dominant narratives to be used against him. A dominant narrative against Kalonzo is that he's undecided. He has a raw deal. It doesn't mean well. He cannot be president. You know that he's been given a raw deal in terms of the number of ministers that's going to get. He took too long, and another thing, he overstretched the negotiation. This is working against him, and I think that's why I believe it is upon him to go down there and counter these narratives. I saw Mtula Kalonzo Jr. and Neno Kwambua have joined the Azimio mainstream campaigns quite in order. But after that, go back to Ukambani and undo and package those dominant narratives that have been propagated with Alfred Mutua and the team in Ukambani. What they're simply they have gone to an extent of telling them that Alfred Mutua is going to be a governor. And lastly, I think Kalonzo Musyoka, it's time then to strengthen Wiper grassroots leadership. Honestly, candidates are from Wiper. What will make the party get dominant and also get strength in the community level is the Wiper party structures. Ladies and gentlemen, what is your take on these frequent strains? Remember, even in Machakos, there was White and Vavinya and Ndeti mess in Athi River. And that's our bold analysis.